News for the Lazy, Episode 7. First up, Trump administration's former senior member endorses Biden. Miles Taylor, a former senior Trump administration official, endorsed Joe Biden's presidential campaign on Monday, becoming one of the highest-ranking former Trump administration officials to do so. He had been fired, along with others, for accusing Donald Trump of repeatedly using his office for political purposes, including directing officials to cut wildfire relief funding to California because voters there overwhelmingly opposed him in 2016. Given what I have experienced in the administration, I have to support Joe Biden for president, and even though I am not a Democrat and even though I disagree on key issues, I'm confident that Joe Biden will protect the country, and I'm confident that he won't make the same mistakes as president. At this point, the amount of people who have turned against him, ranging from former administration members to former family members, is kind of shocking, and the fact that multiple have written books about him does not make me confident about the level of his competency, especially running for a second term. Second up, who is Belarus's President Alexander Lukashenko? Around 200,000 people swarmed the streets in Belarus's capital, Minsk, on Sunday, demanding that President Alexander Lukashenko, often called Europe's last dictator, step down after 26 years of rule, around 6 terms. He is a typical authoritarian leader who seems stuck in a different time and stubbornly refusing to change, even as the world modernizes. Media is weaponized against his critics. Opposition politicians are arrested and barred from standing for public office. Sometimes they are even publicly beaten by the police, says Brett Bruen, a former U.S. diplomat. Obviously, this is peak dictator behavior, something that you read in a classic textbook. The United States government has criticized last week's election as not free and fair, and the United Kingdom has said that it does not accept the results. Lukashenko has often run elections that many nations have deemed as unfair, which is how he has stayed in power for 6 terms. Obviously, his citizens think that's unfair as well, considering that they have staged one of the largest protests in the country's history. Finally, the Trump administration moves closer to allowing oil drilling in the Arctic Refuge. The Trump administration is pushing ahead with plans to allow drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. The first leases to drill for oil and gas in the area could be sold by the end of 2020. Alaska's congressional delegation, Lisa Murkowski and Dan Sullivan, and Rep. Don Young, all Republicans, celebrated the news, thanking Trump for what they said will be a boost to their state's economy, while environmental groups have pledged to stop the move. Meanwhile, Greenland's melting ice sheet has passed the point of no return. Basically, this is a very short-term solution to a very long-term problem that will affect generations to come, and momentary greed is really affecting the planet for the next hundreds of years and the people who are going to live on the planet for the next hundreds of years. There have been no efforts taken to start implementing green technology across America, and instead they're doubling down on oil drilling, which is not going to work in the long run. Finally, there's a historic lightning storm around the Bay Area due to odd weather conditions, and here's a 30-second clip of some of the highlights of that. Thank you for watching.